We're live.
We're live. Yay.
Yay! Let me just make sure. Yep, I got a check mark on all of them. Let me just go ahead and put in where people can go to make sure their name appears.
Okay. I'm gonna see. If I find it on your page, I'm going to share it.
Yeah, it's StreamYard.com/Facebook.
Okay.
Oh, good. It went to both places.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I just decorated a Christmas tree.
Your own or somebody else?
It was for our members in our Wreath of the Month Club group.
Oh.
Yeah. So we did a tutorial and that was fun.
That's cool.
It's just tiring because a lot of getting it ready.
Yeah.
And then the cleanup.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Neva. Neva's one of my regular follower friends.
Okay, I've shared in some groups, so hopefully.
You know, that's what I wanted to do too. I'm just going to do it from my phone while I ask you. So, is that something that you've always done with the? Because I know I was in the Wreath of the Month Club like years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't remember. I don't remember that. Is it something you started?
So we started. Usually, I record how to decorate the Christmas tree because it's so labor intensive.
Yeah.
And then I would piece it together and kind of edit. You only need to see me putting a couple of things in, and then you kind of get the gist of it.
Yeah.
But then we did it live. I did it live one year, and I was like, this wasn't so bad actually. But if I have to get everything lined up.
Right.
All of the flowers have to be fluffed. All the hangers have to be on the ornaments, and that way it doesn't go so bad. So my goal was to do it within about an hour, and I think we went over.
Oh, did you? Not much though, did you? Or
say that again?
Not much though, did you?
No, I think it was 2 hours by the time it was said and done because I was just like, oh, well, what if we had this? Well, what if we had that?
Right? Because there's always room for more. You know, I saw Dylan Palmer this past at the Out of the Box event that we just went to, and he was like the main guest. I forget what they call him, but we were talking about decorating Christmas trees, and I never thought about the fact that like I would decorate my tree, but there would always be holes and it would bother me. And I'd try and put everything in there like as best as I could, but for some reason there would just always be holes. And he goes, "Oh no, I stuffed that tree full."
Yeah, I stuffed mine too. The holes you could fill in with flowers.
And so I did some flowers and poinsettias because those are wide too. I did that last year. And then this year it's going to be really full. So I put gold roses last year. So that worked out really good.
And the shape of the tree. So if you have a slim tree, you can't put as much in it as if you have a regular full tree.
Yep. My first tree I decorated, it'll be 2 years ago, was a pencil tree. It was white, and I did the ice blue and red, and I think I had just enough stuff on it to look full, but not full like a turkey. Mm-hmm. No. So do you usually do like a pencil tree, or do you do?
I just do I don't do any pencils. I do the slim.
Oh, it's called slim. Okay.
There's a slim and then there's a pencil. So
there's
different widths. And then I then I do one regular width. I think it's like 50 inches wide. Does that make it sounds right? Yeah.
Is that
it's a 9 foot. Yeah, that's our main like living room tree. That one is a lot.
How many trees do you put up at home?
We do 9 at home, and then I'll do 1, 2, 3 here in the office. But this year in the office, we're doing one more because we're hosting an event in the warehouse space. So I'm probably put a tree up in there. And then we're not doing as many trees at home. My son's getting married in a
that's
couple of weeks.
right. Yeah.
And that will cut into my decorating time.
Is he doing it right in the fall?
2
Oh,
weeks.
wow.
Yep, he's doing it in Asheville, North Carolina. So it's a destination wedding and it's a micro wedding. So it's
It's a micro wedding.
only 35 people.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's almost it's like a step down from eloping.
Wow. Yeah.
You get a little bit of family there.
Well, I mean, honestly, that is very quaint. And I do like those kind. We had 93 at ours. No, we invited 93. And I think we had almost that many, but still it wasn't overpowering.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to say hi to everybody, which is a big deal to me.
I think it's going to feel more because it's going to be our intimate, close family, and very close friends. And so I feel like it's just going to be a big party. It's just going to be, we're going to sit our down and just enjoy ourselves. I'm excited.
Like a New Year's Eve party with everybody.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like some of our friends have come in here. John is one of my followers. Hi, John. Hi, Jody.
Hi, John.
Hi, Alix is here.
Hi, Alix.
And Carly.
Hi, Carly.
And then
hi, Neva.
John said, I have a rose gold pencil tree and I have over 300 ornaments and picks and ribbon and mesh.
Ooh.
Wow. That's a lot of ornaments.
That is a lot of ornaments.
And just so you all know, if we say that you're a Facebook user, go ahead and type in, I had put it on here, but I can't pin it, to go to streamyard.com/Facebook, and it'll allow you to let us see who you are. But I know who this Facebook user is. That is Carrie, my friend Carrie from Australia. Pretty sure that's Carrie. It's so awesome having friends from all over the world, and you just never know where it takes you.
Yep, I agree.
So we'll just go ahead and get into it, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Or, well, I should say, we're going to cut to the point.
Yeah, okay.
And, one other thing I want to mention to you all, too, before we get started, is that if you look at the bottom of the screen, you see the ticker going by. That's because Julie, and this is Julie Siomacco of Southern Charm Wreaths. I apologize. I was just really excited. No. So at the bottom, you can sign up for her holiday arrangement masterclass that she's going to be having. It starts next week, right?
It does. It starts on Monday the 9th.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I was going to grab your affiliate link and I'm going to paste it on your Facebook comments. I'm commenting on their Facebook.
Because I'm going to throw it in
I don't think
here too.
Let's see.
Really quick. I got it. I have so many windows open. I have a bad habit of that.
I know.
So there it is. It posted to Facebook and to YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, it's there.
Okay. Awesome. So the holiday arrangements masterclass. So what we do is we focus heavily on a specific topic. So this week or next week, it's going to be holiday arrangements. We did our spring arrangements masterclass, and it was a big hit. It was we had over 700 people in there, all virtual, and we learned all different types of arrangements. But instead of just watching me, I teach floristry. So I teach the principles and elements of designing, what type of containers to use. How do you know what arrangement, a style to put in what a container? Basically, I say it's from concept to compliments, because you're going to get compliments after it's done. It's not good. You're going to learn how to like not overstuff. Does that make sense? Because a
Oh,
lot of people don't know when to stop.
that's priceless right there.
Well, for me, it was always, I couldn't get started. When I was first trying to learn them, I was like, the fear was so big. I was just like, I couldn't even like start the process. And so I've figured out all of the ways pretty much that people can, um, some of the, I mean, just teaching in person and teaching online, I know like what people are like thinking and feeling, and I can help address that. So doing it virtually does help. I can zoom in and they get, they can get kits if they want to make the same exact thing that I'm making, and partnering with Greenery Market on this one. So, yeah, I'm super excited.
I love that you do that because me, for example, I love making arrangements. And then I'm like, okay, I need to do this, the triangle thing, or I I I always watch and I see the procedure in which, some people have, okay, I do this first or what have you. And then I forget when it's time for me to go do it. So I kind of do it my own way. Most times I'm like, oh, that's nice. Other times
Yeah,
I'll come back to that later.
I think that definitely any way works. I mean, there's no right or wrong way. Some
Yeah.
people start with the greenery and some people start with the flowers, and it doesn't matter. You choose what you like, is where you're going to be the most successful, but you can't put it away. Angela, this
No,
is,
no, no. I leave it like I did earlier today. Redid this bow, and at first I was like, I don't know. I walked by after, and I was like, oh, that doesn't look so bad.
yeah, you got to keep pushing through. There's so many times creators will say, I'm just going to deal with it tomorrow, put it to the side, work on something else. What happens when you're in the creative spirit or the creative zone is there will be a time when you're not feeling it, like it looks like a hot mess, like I don't know if this is going to work out. You have to push through that, because once you push through that, I'm a god girl, but that's when the divine energy, the divine spirit works through me creatively, and things start happening. I don't know how to explain it, but it looks like a little bit of a hot mess at first, right? Even our wreaths and stuff,
Yeah.
they don't look like they're going to look at the end. And if you just understand
Uh-oh.
through that, you're gonna be amazed at what you can do when you just sort of let go and let God and just trust the process.
That's one of my favorite sayings, as a matter of fact. And I do. I think that a lot. And just to see where you started and where you are now is just, it's amazing. Could you tell us a little bit about, Julie over
Oh
a
my
decade ago?
Absolutely. So I started making wreaths for my own home, my doors, and they are nothing. They were nothing like what I make now. And I would buy a couple of wreaths on eBay. This is years ago, decade ago, and they were expensive. And I was always constantly fixing it. Like, well, I don't really like that bow, but let me add, things would fall off and I'd have to glue them back. And I was like, I can make these instead of paying, money for it. I can make this. My husband, I was a stay-at-home mom, so we only had one income, and spending a lot of extra money on holiday decor was not really in the budget. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to try to figure out how to make these. And so I started making them for my home, and my neighbors were liking them. And they were like, can you make me one? And can I just buy the one off your door? And I was like, I thought it was a little awkward. Like, I can't believe somebody wants to buy these things, whatever.
And you want it off my door?
And I was like, oh, whatever. And so I started selling to the neighborhood ladies. And, word was getting out. And I was like, this is kind of fun, because I was able to practice my hobby, fill in their orders. And I didn't know anything about pricing back then. I was just having fun. And then one neighbor, Stacy, said, you should sell on Etsy. And I was like, what's that? I didn't even know what it was. Because back then Etsy didn't really advertise like they do now. And so I was like, I didn't know what that was. And so I started looking on Etsy. And before I even went into Etsy, I was like, I'm just going to do my own website. I'm not going to do the Etsy thing. I'm just going to do my own website. So I taught myself how to write code because it was before all of the easy website development tools we have now. Taught myself how to write code, basically, uh, all about hosting, all of the techie stuff, right, that we have to
Right.
learn for a website. And I taught myself by reading blog posts and watching YouTube videos, and basically created my website with the e-commerce. And people like started, I had to learn all of the keywords and how to take photos that would load fast on a computer, on your website, and just all of this that I had to learn on my own because I didn't want to spend the money, which was another thing I wish I had done differently when I first started. Is So I just taught myself how to do that. It took forever to do because I was also taking care of the kids full time, but got that going. Started making sales on my website, and then I'm like, okay, now let me try the Etsy thing. Well, Etsy took off way quicker than my website did. And so I was like trying to keep up with inventory there and there. And I finally just said, forget the website and let's just go all in on Etsy, making it easier for me. And so we started selling on Etsy. But when I was on my website, people were coming, but they weren't buying. And I
Yep.
was like, okay, why are they coming to my website? And back then, Google Analytics used to be really good. They would tell you all the keywords, exactly why people were coming. And they were all coming for the Deco Mesh wreaths that I would post out there.
Mm-hmm.
But they wouldn't buy. And I was like, okay, of course you're thinking all the negative things, right? Like it's me. There's a problem with me. That's why they're not buying. And when I thought, okay, they're not good enough or they're too expensive or why are they not buying, And
Yeah.
so what happened was I prayed on it and it was dropped in my head that these are makers and they're coming to me for inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
They liked what they were seeing and they were trying to figure out how to make it. And so I was like, okay, well, how can I help them? You know what I mean? And
Yep.
so I started researching, how do I teach online? How can I, do this? And I opted in for a free email opt-in to learn how to do an ebook. And that's what I did is I wrote an ebook, and that's kind of what pivoted my business from maker to teacher, was teaching deco mesh wreath making.
I've kind of found that I'm doing the same thing. I actually had an epiphany this year because my Etsy's slow too, and I know we're not the only ones that have ran into that. I found that my perfect person was the maker and some of the things I was making, and so once I went ahead and did that, it was actually a little freeing. Like I finally figured something out.
Yeah. It's very good that you leaned into it, because a lot of times people will feel the nudge and then they don't move on it or act on it for whatever reason. Usually it's some limiting beliefs that they have, um, or they're just not sure what the outcome's going to be, so they're a little afraid to take the step. But so kudos to you
Thank you.
for leaning into that, and me for leaning into
Yes.
it, because I never would be here if I hadn't done that. Even though I had no idea what I was doing, how it would turn out. And but that's really what catapulted me. So back then we didn't have Facebook groups; we had forums.
Oh yeah.
I'm dating myself. So I was helping in forums. We were making deco mesh wreaths. We were talking about all things deco mesh. Well, then Craig Bachman, the maker of deco mesh, their designers were started looking at what I was putting together, and he told me that they created the wreath frame based off of the way I was using mesh and wreaths, because
Really?
we didn't have wreath frames back then. I was using floral pens and pinning them on foam or on straw bases. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well,
And the pipe cleaners around the wire, all of that. He saw he said, I saw what you were doing. And I was like, what can we make? And they made the work wreath form based off of that. I was like, dang. That's when I was
wow.
like, wow, like I'm
Yeah.
really making a difference in the floral industry, in the silk flower industry. They're
Yeah.
watching us.
I didn't even know that little tidbit. And I know that you've heard this a million times, but I just want to share with everybody. And before I do, you guys, could you sprinkle us out, please, so that everybody can meet Julie? Well, I don't really know anybody that doesn't know her, at least by her name, or recognizes her face if they don't know her name. But Julie is the reason that I actually got started doing wreaths. I don't even know what I was looking for, to tell you the truth. All I know is I was Googling something and I found a YouTube video of this lady making a mesh wreath. What the heck is mesh?
I know, right?
But you just have a teaching style that is so unique that it drew me in and I was just hooked. And I couldn't get enough at that point. And that's almost been 5 years ago now. So, time flies, really.
It really does. Hey, Dylan. Dylan's watching.
Hi, Dylan.
Oh, Leeks, you're so sweet.
But I just want to say thank you publicly,
Absolutely.
just for being the person that you are and sharing yourself with all of us. And that was another thing I had wanted to mention. I mean, you couldn't have done this by yourself. You have a family. Could you go ahead and let us know a little bit about your family?
Yeah, I have. So I've got 3 kids. Now they're grown and out of the house. Well, one moved back in, but they're grown. And but when I first started, they were young. They were, I was trying to teach. I was in homework hell. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Every night. Oh my gosh, helping with the homework and waiting for that to be over so that I could get into the craft room and fill orders or make wreaths. But yeah, I was trying to juggle the kids, being present for them, and also time for. I was really in the beginning of stages of my business. I wasn't all in. I was just trying to fit it in
Yeah.
with such a full plate already, and it didn't work for me. And the only reason I ever went really all in was because my husband lost his job. Remember, and I said he was the only
Mhm.
income provider. So he lost his job, and then I was trying to get a job and I couldn't because I had been out of work for 10 years. And even though I had figured out like social media and how to do my own website and how to sell ebook, I had already figured all this stuff out. Nobody wanted to hire me, and I was praying on it, like, what am I going to do? What should I do? And God answers us in many ways, and sometimes it's from conversations that we overhear. Sometimes it's from, the pulpit if you're in church with the preacher. Sometimes it's reading the Bible, but a lot of times it's just paying attention to the little signs that are delivered throughout the day. Well, one of them was an email that I received, and the title of the email said, "Do not let your business go," or "Do not let your business fail." Because I was already thinking, crud, I have to give up this business because I got to go back to work full time. Well,
Mhm.
I read that email, and I don't even remember what the inside the email what said, but it was just the subject line, and the hair on my neck stood up. And I was like, that's an answer for me. I just knew it was an answer for me. And I went to my husband and I was like, you're going to think I am really crazy, but God said to go all in on this business. Because I was thinking he was going to go, no, we need insurance. We need health insurance. We need income and now. And he was like, okay, well, how can I help? So he just was like, okay, so how can I help? He was all on board with it. And
Yeah,
that helped a lot, having a spouse that was very supportive
definitely.
of your dream, and then following the instinct of just doing it, not knowing how it's going to turn out. And then every day I just showed up. Every day I showed up to do something different, something bigger. And when I say bigger, I mean like putting yourself out of your comfort zone, like
Yes.
doing things you're not sure of. Like the first time I ever did a Facebook Live, I was like petrified. The first email I ever sent out, trying to sell anything through an email, petrified.
Mhm.
First wreath I shipped, all of it was just you putting yourself out there to the world and waiting to see what takes place and shape. So,
Yeah, I mean, you really do have to take a chance and just let go and let God. Oh my gosh. They always think somebody's at the door. I'm sorry.
that's okay. I have three at
Oh,
home.
that's
So
right.
yeah, we know. It's
I
just the wind.
yeah, right. There's nobody there. Misty London said, Julie changes lives. She's incredible.
Oh,
And that, I love that. And she's not wrong at all. And I mean, I know you know that you do. And it's awesome. And you still continue to just give yourself and give yourself and give yourself. And I just, it's really, it's priceless.
well, thank you. Misty is she's just doing so many great things. She's doing her business wreath making full time, selling so many. I mean, I can't even remember what she said. It's like more than 10, like more like 20 or 30 wreaths. Misty, whatever, or correct me, whatever. I mean, it's a ton
A
of wreaths
week?
a month.
Oh, a month.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
she's doing huge, and I want to say she's even quit her full-time job and everything, gone all in.
and
So
that is the best part. That's the story I hear from a lot of people that you just, that's when you know. And I think that is a gift from God right there, and I know it doesn't happen to everybody, and some people want instant gratification, but that's not what it's about. And so I just, I don't know. I can say all these great things about you all the time, and I feel like I'm a broken record. But so your journey into the world of wreath making and crafting wasn't necessarily easy, but you were determined to make something of yourself and to especially make money because that's
right.
what,
So that was definitely my why when I
yes,
first started. I think it's everybody's why when they first start their business is they're needing some extra money.
yeah,
And so definitely that was my why when I first started is how can I make some extra money? Because my husband was, he was out of a job and it wasn't a hobby anymore. It was like, okay. So he's kind of took over the kids duty while I was going all in on the business side of it, trying to
trying to figure out the
figure out
business
social
part
media,
too.
marketing, and all
Yeah.
of the things. Yeah. And so, but that definitely was my why when I first started. And I think it is so important for anybody listening that is wanting to make a business with their handmade items is you've got to know what that why is. And your why has to be I always say your why has to make you cry. You have to be so invested and emotional on that why. And the reason you have to be that way is because when you are can't figure things out, or you have those bad days, or what you ship something and it falls apart and you got a customer 1-star review, there's going to be times when you don't have, it's not going to always be sunshine and rainbows. And in order to keep you going through those thick times, you have to know what your why is. And for me, I said mine was money, and it was like we literally were living on credit cards. And so I had to figure out this. I had to figure it out. And so I was many nights, researching in the wee hours when all the kids were in bed asleep because it was quiet. I was always trying to learn how to get found basically on the internet. And so, but then my why shifted, right? People were coming to me like wanting to learn. And so then I started thinking, okay, well, let me help them. And so as I started helping them learn and help them build their businesses,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, they would send me letters in the mail, not just emails and not just comments and messages, but letters in the mail of saying, you are the one that distracted me when I was trying to overcome alcoholism, or you are the one who helps my husband cope every day because he's suffering from Alzheimer's. And I realized that these weren't even like, some of them were customers, but some of them hadn't, they weren't customers yet.
Right.
But I was making an impact on their lives. And I was like, okay. And then they're starting their businesses and they're making impacts in their family with their income, selling their wreaths. And I'm like, this is way bigger than wreath making. This is way bigger than making sales. Does that make sense? Like, I
Yeah.
am impacting people's lives, and I am like nobody. You know what I mean? I don't have a college
Yeah.
degree. I don't have any of those all long initials behind my name. And it took me a while to like figure that out, that people want to listen to me. And I didn't even know what I was trying to say at the time, and just making an impact. And I feel like if just putting yourself out there a little bit makes a huge difference in other people's lives. And so my why shifted now to inspiring and education, for floristry, inspiring and educating, and just trying to let people find their joy through flowers, because people use it for therapy. I mean, you can, no matter what you want to use your talents for, whether it's to make extra income, maybe it's just to make some Christmas gifts, maybe it's to pay for Christmas and you're just selling a little bit, whatever it is for you, find your joy with it.
Um, yeah, I actually, everything you said, I can resonate with. And it's funny because this year seems to have been a huge change for me. And I didn't expect it at all. But it's been a good change, but it's also a lot of work. And, taking a huge leap of faith on certain things, it's scary. And then, you have to believe in yourself. But then, sometimes you've got I won't say his name, but he's on your shoulder over here trying to discourage you, where I have the angel over here trying to, you know, talk me into it. And I'm sure, was it hard for you sometimes though to continue to stay motivated, or just to keep on going when there were
Oh,
days
yeah.
I'm sure you had
Oh,
that.
absolutely. I mean, I'm human, and so there are definitely times at the very beginning when I was, you know, just kind of rocking in a corner crying and going, what am I doing? Just stop this madness right now. This is just absolutely crazy. And I would think that. And then I would think, and then it would pop into my head, because even my husband was like, just quit it already. It's not worth all this, upset and can't figure it out and this and that. And it probably was something like just trying to figure out how to center a photo on the page, writing code, you know what I mean? And
Yep.
I was just trying to figure it out, or how to get my emails to send out in a specific way. And yeah, and then I thought to myself, then everything that I had done up until that point would have been for nothing. And my kids would have seen a mom who quit. And I was like, I can't be that person.
But that's not in your vocabulary, right?
No,
Yeah.
no. But yeah, but when we all start, it's a lot harder than, you think. Everybody
Yeah.
looks at it and sees a lot of people being successful, and they're like, they don't see the behind the scenes. It's like the iceberg, right? You see just the above water. You don't see everything underneath.
Or how deep it goes.
All of the years, all of the sleepless nights trying to work and figure it out. And so, yeah, I mean, I was human. We're all human. There are going to be times when we don't know why we decided to do this, especially when you look around and your whole house is filled from top to bottom with wreaths. And, everything is, you're claustrophobic from all the wreaths in the house, and,
Yeah.
the ribbon, right? And so, yeah, I mean, there are definitely times when you want to like not, you don't know what the heck you did. Like, why am I doing this? But then inevitably, I'd get another comment or another
Yes.
email or something that said, you changed my life. You're making a difference in my life. And I would be like, okay, God, okay, I get it. I see it. and keep going and keep going. And that's why, that's my why. When I would get that feedback, and it's so different. People always tell me, like you and some people here watching, you helped me and you changed my life, and because of you. And it's not y'all don't know that it's y'all who actually changed my life. Like, it gave me purpose. Like, I get to wake up and come to a 3,600 square foot office out of the house now, and I get to play with ribbon. You know what I mean? And I get to inspire and motivate and just literally talk. I love it. I love my job. And not a lot of people can say that they love their job, that time just flies by. That, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's just been, very, everybody that tells me how I've changed their life, it just really, they have no idea how it really, they had changed my life. They had really impacted it, gave me purpose.
Well, just sitting here listening to you, I'm on the verge of tears because everything you're saying, it resonates with me. And I'm just so thankful God put you in my life. Every day, especially because this week I had one day it was pretty rough, and I didn't want to quit. That wasn't it at all, because I don't have that in my vocabulary either. But you have bad days, and then you realize who you have that you can talk to, who you have that are your mentors or your friends, or I mean, gosh, we know people from all around the world that we wouldn't have known otherwise, who do the same things as we do. And we are all on different levels. Some might do it better, but that's not the point.
Mm-mm.
And I am just so happy to see where you have come. I mean, watching you move into this building, how exciting. I was there. I got to see that milestone for you and to watch you. And I could only imagine that that's what you were like when your business, you found that you made something of it and you were actually getting somewhere, and all the hard work was paying off. And have you ever I'm sure you have, but is there a moment that you had, whether it's you or a student or another wreath maker, what have you, that was a success story, that just sticks out that you would share with us?
I mean, there's so many. I don't know how to choose just one. One that really pops into my head fast is the Greenery Market team. Atlanta first started with me. She was one of my first ebook subscribers when I wrote the ebook, and was learning wreath making. And she started learning wreath making to help cope with the loss of her mom. And that, I was helping her through that, which I didn't know. I hadn't met her yet. And I did a in-person wreath retreat, and she came, and she was always the first person to buy, no matter what I was selling. I would see her name come up. And so when I finally met her, I was like, finally, I'm meeting you. And but through me mentoring her and all of their hard work that they've been putting in over the years, it is just awe-inspiring to see what they have accomplished and what they have done. And because they saw a need in the wreath industry. We didn't have good quality soap flowers. I mean, they were out there, but we couldn't find anybody who would take a chance because they were all focused on deco mesh,
Yeah.
and deco mesh and signs, and that's fine. But I wanted to be playing over here in quality soap flowers, and I didn't have anyone to come over and help me. And so I knew I never wanted to do that. I've never wanted to ship things and, inventory and all that. I didn't never wanted to keep up with that. And so she said that, they started doing it, and grew little by little. And then she was a vendor at our retreats, and, and just to watch her and Bill and their whole family and their team of what they've designed. It has been awe inspiring. So
Yeah, and didn't they move into a bigger space and they're getting married, or they already are? Or
they got married last year, and yeah, they moved into a huge office space. I can't even remember. I don't know why 10,000 is sticking in my head, but that might not be right.
wow.
Quote me on that, but it's huge.
Yeah,
And they are kicking booty,
that's,
with the silk flower. So if anybody, shout out to Greenery Market, if anybody
yes.
is looking for some quality silk flowers, and they're the place where you could go and get that Farrah silk ribbon or that D. Stevens ribbon,
Oh,
the quality, like the little higher end is,
yeah.
prices. And that's what I like. That's what my customers all have always liked. And so that's why I always gravitate towards it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna look at a few comments here. Tammy Hellman said it was Julie's Christian faith that also drew me to her.
Aw, Tammy.
Alix is doing her bow workshop in a couple weeks, thanks to you.
Yes. Alix.
Carly says, my why was wanting to work with my hands, more creativity. Instead of being on a computer all the time, money is a very close second. And I stumbled upon one of Julie's videos and have been in her groups ever since.
Yay, Carly. Hey, Carly.
I mean, I'm sure that it can go on and on and on. And it just, again, it really says a lot about you as a person. So I know you have a really great relationship with your children, and they're, that's great for them, especially now that they're adults and they have somebody they can look up to, and they've got an awesome dad too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So they've got a parent. I mean, how long have you guys been married now?
Oh my gosh, my husband's gonna kill me. I have this mental block when it comes to numbers.
Okay, so like
anybody ask me like how old I am, like I know I'm over 50. That's all I can tell you. Like I can't remember, I don't know how old the kids are, but I know the years that they were born. But it's been, I think this is the 24th year of our marriage. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know that it's a lot of teamwork. You guys make an awesome team.
Thank you. I completely agree. But there's also, obviously we're married, so there's days, arguments and stuff. But I do have to say that we do take time for each other, whether it's to be walk, in the mornings with each other, or we like to go out on the boat for the weekend, and it's just us, and we'll sit and we will plan our goals. And so you guys who are married, sit with your partner and make goals, because that's the other thing I feel. It has to be a whole life process. It can't be all career. And I went all career for a long time, and I was feeling off balance. I wasn't happy. I was like, I don't get it. Like I've got success in the career, I'm got, we finally, we're out of debt, and, and I was just not figuring out why I was so like empty inside. And I realized that you've got to make it round. All of the little things in your life are like spokes on a wheel. And if you're missing friendship or faith or health or spirit, if you're missing any of those spokes, your wheel can't turn. It's like a little flat tire, basically. And so one of them is I've been really focused on the last 3 years is just going all in with our marriage and spending time learning what our love languages are, and then making sure that we're trying to like speak on that level for each other. But yeah,
that's good. I mean, especially revisiting it over and over. I mean, I'm sure that there's times that you still look at each other and you're like, God, I'm so in love with you. Just like from the first moment I told you I love,
Oh, absolutely.
And it's very special. And I know not a lot of people are fortunate to have that, but it really, you can tell when you see the two of you. And I love how he helps you. Mm-hmm. And he's an awesome DJ.
He definitely has enough to do today.
I know he does. Um, if so, let's say we have somebody new. I know you get new people all the time too, and they want to make wreath making their business. What is a piece of advice that you would give them?
The why. Okay, there's a couple of things that
Oh
you
yeah,
want to focus on. First is the why. And I said that, it needs to be so um what do you want to call it? Like it's got to tap into your emotions. It's got to be like very deep for you. And when you think you know what it is, ask yourself, why is it that? Because ultimately you can dive deeper and figure out that it's really something more. It's something more than money. It's something more than it's something more. And so if you keep asking yourself, well, why do I feel like that? Why do you think that is? You just keep diving down into figuring that out. You're going to come out with something that is very like it's going to light a fire under your butt. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that. I've got COVID, but I'm still going to make a wreath. I got,
yeah.
the kids are home screaming and I haven't cooked dinner yet. There's dog hair, dust bunnies all over the house, but I'm going to be, serving my customers. And so it's got to be so like, passionate for you. And then the other thing is knowing who your customer is,
That
learning,
is very important.
learning what they need from you because people people buy from us because we're filling a service for them. And so we've got to know who they are and what can we bring to the table for them. So for those who are like trying to start their wreath making business, ask yourself, why does a customer even want a wreath for their door? And it's more and then just wanting a pretty door. Okay, it's way bigger than that. And when you learn that and tap into it, you know how to talk to them, you know what styles to make, you know what to spend your money on for supplies. Because how many, when we all got started, we were like buying everything under the sun, and half of the stuff I was like, okay, my customers didn't even like that. They don't even buy in this. Why am I buying so much of it? And you learn all of this. And it just helps you to fine tune what your offerings are.
Yeah.
And then I would say start to build a community around your brand. Have a place like you have here, Angela, with people coming with your brand, you providing this service to them, giving them your podcast and your guests to share with them. You're serving them and you're filling their cup with this. And so people remember that and people will come back to that.
And
Um,
it's weird though, because like you said, it's just me. I'm just me.
oh yeah, what you don't feel any special, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And it's kind
Exactly.
of like I don't. It's not like I don't believe them, but it's almost like I don't believe you. But thank you.
That means that you don't feel worthy, right?
No, and I'm being fully candid here with everyone. I'm an open book. There are most days that I don't feel worthy. But
Okay.
then I look today as I was coming to be here with you, and I just hit 6,300 followers. I mean, it's never in my wildest dreams. I hoped I'd have a couple people that would like what I do, but never thought what I've got right now.
Well, you are definitely worthy. Obviously, you're making a difference in people's lives. They're showing up for you. And I'm just here to say that figure that out. Like do some work on yourself. I mean, we're all a work in progress. Nobody's perfect, right? And that's a limiting belief that could help propel you because once you start really believing that what you have to offer matters, makes a difference. First of all, you are a divine spirit. We are all connected. So what you accomplish, everybody accomplishes. Does that make sense? Because we
Yes.
are all of God. And so that's the other reason to feel worthy. God wants you to shine your light. So he wants us all to be successful, right? We can't shine our light very bright if we are trying to pay the mortgage and we can't make ends meet, or we're trying to make we're trying to figure that stuff out. You've got to absolutely believe that you're worthy and that you're going to do it and that it's coming your way. And you're worthy of an abundant life. We all are. And once you start really believing that, it is amazing what opens up for you. I can't even, it's just changed my life. And
Yeah.
I wasn't always like that. I was limiting beliefs. I was poverty mindset. Even when I started this business, I was not like I am now with my mindset. And but it takes constant, because as soon as you discover some other limiting belief that you manage to work through, there comes another one. And that's why I'm like, we're always a work in progress. We're never going to know all of it.
No, and I tell you, when I first met you at Wreath Makers, it's been 2 years. Yeah. I cried. Instead of saying hi, I cried. And after I met you, and that was just a huge change in the right direction for me when I met you. I had, and I don't know if I told you this, I had 2 different women come up to me and say, "Oh my God, you're Angela." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Angela." Yeah. They go, "No, but you're with 3L Creation." And I was like, and they told me how much it meant to them. And hearing that from people, even new people, it's really, it warms my heart. It really, it fills
you up.
Oh my gosh. And it's so wonderful. And I'm me, just like you said, I'm just me. And, I think it's important that we continue to do that. I mean, when you see that you've got a good thing going, like you, okay, what can I do next to help? And
you have to and I used to be I'm very driven woman. I've always been. Even when I was working at a financial firm in Charlotte, and I started out, we called them secretaries back then, not administrative assistants. I started out as a secretary, no college degree, and I worked my way up to assistant vice president of marketing, had an office on the 32nd floor in a financial firm. That's how driven I've always been driven. I can light my own fire underneath me. I've always been able to do that. Where was I going with this story? But what was I going to say? I don't remember. It flew out of my head. But yeah, that just, you have to, it was never filling my cup though, like it does now. You know what I mean?
yes.
Like what we're doing is, I feel we're changing lives, what you and I do. And that to me is so much more impactful on our own life, in our own spirits, than it is, just climbing the ladder. Oh, I know what I was going to say, is that we've got to take the time to celebrate our wins. And a lot of times, if you're self-driven, if anybody's listening, you're self-driven like me, and you're like, oh, I did it. Let's move to the next thing. Did that. Let's move to the next thing. Move to the next, move to the next. And instead of stopping and going, you did it, like celebrate our wins and celebrate what we're doing. And just being very gracious and thanking God and the universe for, though, like you said, those 3 people that came up to you. Like, just, we've got to take the time to be thankful. When we're thankful, we're given more of it. So when we take the time to thank God for whatever it is that we're thankful for, be ready, because more of it will be blessed to you.
It's really surreal. So we're almost running out of time, but we already know what projects you have coming up, because at the bottom of the screen here, it's Julie's going to be doing her holiday arrangement masterclass starting next week. And that's my affiliate link if you want to sign up. I will also make sure I post it and pin it so that you all can find it. You can also find it on to sign up on Southern Charm Wreaths page. But one other thing I wanted to ask you before we get into the rapid round What trends do you see coming up that are really good? I mean, I see these vibrant colors and um,
So, first of all, before I say what I think is a trend, you got to remember who your customer is, okay? Because a lot of times what's trending isn't what they're buying. And so that's why you've got to really lean into learning who your ideal customer is and what they want from you. Because, when red truck was the trend,
yes.
well, no, none of my customers wanted red truck, so I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be selling that. And so you have to really know who that is, because again, that's why it will help you on what you're going to spend your money on supplies with. But from what we've been looking at and watching and observing, the yellow gold for Christmas is on fire. Okay. Also, I was going to say, you got to also be a little careful about who you hear the trends from, because people who sell supplies are always going to tell you the trend is what they need to sell. Right.
Right.
So, but I'm going to pink is big trend right now because thanks to Barbie, the Barbie movie has really put it on top, but it was starting to trend a little bit before Barbie
Yes, it
came out.
was.
And so, but now it's taken over all the holidays. Before it was just starting to come out into Halloween, and now you're going to see it in Christmas.
And fall.
Pastel, huh?
And fall.
Oh yeah, fall. Well, it started in Halloween and fall, but now you're going to see it transform, keep going through Christmas. And then also the jewel tones are really popular.
Yes.
Emerald green, ruby red, the garnet colors, a yellow gold, all of that together is just.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Because I know your one of your favorite combinations is blue and yellow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did navy blue and gold tree last year, and I was just wow. It was but I wish I would have done royal blue, because that's just really.
Yes,
But still.
blues are still huge for this
Hmm.
Christmas. And then also yellow is starting to come into play. So watch for yellow to start making its way into home decor, and then the neutrals is still very popular.
Isn't lavender and like baby blue also,
Yeah,
right?
so
Like
the
those lighter.
pastel colors are
Yeah.
definitely trending. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I love it. I love the hot pink especially, but that's just me.
Yeah.
We're gonna get in the rapid fire round, but Lynn said you all are so inspirational to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
I
Lynn.
truly feel blessed. Thank you. I appreciate that. Everybody just it goes back and forth, as far as inspiring one another. And sometimes you don't even know who you inspire, and you do and it's then they tell you later, and it's like, wow, just because I said that okay, I'm glad I can help.
And we're just showing up our authentic
Yeah.
selves. That's the best thing.
Julie is in South Carolina. Neva,
Angela, where are you?
I'm in San Diego, California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, don't look behind me, because when you said something about buying everything,
I told you I have a 3,600 square foot warehouse, right?
is it full yet?
It's so full. Like we can't hardly walk.
Yeah, but some things are actually product I've made, so that it doesn't make me feel so bad. But all right. Any other things you want to say before we get into the rapid fire round?
I don't think so. You mentioned Wreath Makers Live. We're hosting another one in 2025, the same week, last week in July.
Oh, cool.
Same location.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we just signed the contract this week. So we are excited for the opportunity, for sure, to do another Wreath Makers Live. I'm so excited.
I'm excited. When you said 2 years, I was like, oh my God, I have to wait 2 years.
It takes forever to plan, and it goes by fast.
It went by fast.
Yeah.
So, but if you guys need any help with anything, I'm always here.
Okay.
So, all right, are you ready?
All right, I think so.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Favorite wreath color combination?
Oh my gosh, I can't choose. The favorite wreath color combination would be lavender, pink, and yellow.
Oh, I like that. DIY or pre-made wreath bases?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'm team both.
Yeah,
So DIY is what brings me joy, and then pre-made wreath bases is what brings me money
and makes it
because it's
easier,
fast.
right?
You like them both.
Yeah, early morning or late night crafting sessions.
Early morning all the way.
But you do stay up late sometimes.
No, I'm usually in bed by 9:30.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was something pre-recorded and I saw it later.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm up late doing a video, I'm like dying.
And it's time for bed. Favorite wreath style?
Silk flower on a grapevine.
And you know what? You're the first person I ever heard the word whimsical from.
Oh, wow.
I had never known that word.
Interesting.
Yeah. Best wreath making tip in one word.
Best wreath making tip in one word. And I can only say the one word.
Try to do one word.
Best wreath making tip. Okay, trust.
Ooh, very good. See, you did it. Most used crafting tool.
My wire cutters are my most used, and they are electrical wire cutters.
Excuse me?
So when you go to the Home Depot or whatever, go to the
Yeah.
electrical department and get the cutters from there. Those always have more torque.
Wow. I found a pair on Amazon that I think I have like 10 pairs.
Yes.
But you know, when you find something you really like, you stick with it. Crafting alone or with friends?
Alone.
One
I'm
word.
an introvert.
Oh, that's true. But you really come out very well.
Yeah.
One word to describe your creative process.
God.
Favorite wreath making season?
Spring.
And that was it.
Oh.
And we ran over 3 minutes. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. This was so much fun.
Thank you. I really appreciate it that just saying yes.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of thought you would, but at the same time, you just never know. And I think I'm pretty much full this month. So I've gotten a lot of compliments from people. They've really liked this, and I'm trying to get, everybody's significant, but I'm trying to get those that are really significant in the community that others know, that maybe they look up to, and just trying to get you all in here, and so that they can actually see you, one-on-one, just being yourself.
Well,
And
yeah, I mean, you're just, yeah, I mean, because first of all, we want everybody to be inclusive, and included and part of our community. And you gotta, we want to show up. I want to show up at least. I can't speak for others, but I definitely
right.
want to be involved. No matter if this is your fourth or your 40th or 400th,
Yeah.
just showing up and being involved with the community of crafters and makers is just, I mean, to me, that's my passion. So my passion is seeing everybody else being successful with what
Me
they're
too.
doing and finding their joy, right? Finding their joy.
Especially for me, and part of my joy is meeting new people, and not, it doesn't give me joy to see that they're lost or they don't know what to do. It's just, I love meeting them, and I love being able to be there for them if they have questions or what have you. And I've had some really great conversations with new people, and sometimes I feel like there's a lot of membership groups that they can go to. There's a lot of things that they can do. And sometimes that can be a little overwhelming. And so I don't know, there's just something about the newer crafters that's like got a piece of my heart. And I love making sure that they're okay, or if they have questions, or and if I can't answer it, I'll find somebody that can answer it. But I've met some really great people that way. And like you.
Well, what you're doing is you are making ripples. So when you put out something or say something and somebody resonates with that, it's going to carry on. They're going to impact other people with what they learn from you. And so it's a ripple effect. And that's what we're doing with our life, is we're making a difference, Angela.
It's still surreal, but I love it. And
it should be, it's empowering. If you think about the
it
energy that brings you, for me, it brings me energy to know that I am making such a huge impact in other people's lives. And then they're rippling it out because, like you found me and look what you're doing now. And that is what brings me energy. Like, I'm not tired now, I want to go do a video, it ignites me. And I think that everybody needs to feel it. It's just I wish we could bottle it up and sell, give it or sell it or whatever, because we always want that energy. And
I love that too. Hi, Patty. She's in my private group. I started a private group. I don't know if you knew that. My friend Jeanette and I started a private group recently, and it's slow growing, but that's okay. I think anything good takes time, depending on what it is. So
it does take time. And when I first started my group, I had already taken the time to build a community.
Mm-hmm.
So when I launched it, it was everybody, they wanted in. And so, so now if you just takes time, but just keep serving and showing up, and it'll grow. Have faith.
Well, thank you so much, Julie. I love you so much and appreciate
you.
Yeah, I know, right? Yay! And tell Taylor thank you also. I just love her. She
absolutely.
is a wonderful asset to your team. And everybody, don't forget, sign up for Julie's holiday arrangement masterclass starting next week. I will pin the link for you all. And how much is it?
It's $77 if you're a non-member, $38.50 if you are a member. And you're gonna learn from start to stop, like how to know to start, when to start, the concepts, and then how to know when to stop. But then also, more than just watching, you're gonna learn the why. Like, why spacing matters, what is form and why does that matter? What is a line? What does that matter? You're gonna learn floristry from me. So I am huge on education, and that's why we're going to go over the 5 F's. Foundation. You can't build a house without a good foundation. The fundamentals, you need to know how to have a quality construction, right? And the fundamentals of color theory and stuff like that. We go through all of that. And then you're going to focus on the arrangement making, and then we're going to find your joy, help you find your joy and flourish. And to me, the flourish is more like business and mindset and stuff like that. So it's really a very intensive course. You can watch it as often as you need to, even next year when you're ready to make arrangements again.
And are your previous classes available to purchase?
They are. If you just go to our southerncharmwreaths.com and then scroll to the bottom and tap master classes, you'll be able to see a whole list of what we offer.
And how can they find you, especially on Facebook? Because I know you've got several places that they can go.
Southern Charm Wreaths on all the platforms. Southern Charm Wreaths.
All right. Well, thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Tell Mike I said hi. And Miss Kay.
Oh, I will. Okay.
All right. I'll see you later. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.